The lights dimmed in Hall H. Not for a whisper of nostalgia. Not for a quiet return. But for an explosion. An eruption. A seismic jolt to the very foundations of San Diego Comic-Con. Because DC Studios had arrived. Not with a whisper, but with the roar of a man in red, white, and absurdly shiny chrome, John Cena. As Peacemaker. It was Saturday, July 26, 2025. And everything had shifted. For years, Marvel owned this stage. Owned this night. But tonight, the symbol on the screen wasn't a spider, nor a shield. It was a dove, and a helmet, and a ridiculous dance number waiting to break loose. James Gunn stood in the shadows like a returning king, but it wasn't his crown he came to show, it was his chaos. His madness. His truth. Because Peacemaker Season 2 is here. The trailer hit like a truck. The crowd held their breath. And then they laughed, gasped, and shouted as Cena's Christopher Smith stepped into a dimension that looked like ours. But better. A dream. A lie. A second chance. It didn't matter. He danced, fought, joked, and glared into the cosmic absurdity like only Peacemaker could. But the real world still burns. Frank Grillo, yes, the same face that shook Superman to its core just weeks ago, returns. As Rick Flag Sr. Not a cameo. Not a whisper. A full-on mission. And he's hunting the impossible. A rift between worlds. A portal that offers peace, but threatens collapse. Rick Flag Sr. wants it closed. Peacemaker. He's not ready to leave paradise. But paradise doesn't care what you're ready for. It makes you choose. And then, Letta appears. She doesn't scream. She doesn't beg. She simply reminds Chris what he's tried so hard to forget. No matter how great the grass is over there, she says, voice breaking through the chaos, you belong here with us. Boom. That's not just plot. That's heart. That's family. That's the pain of healing, of facing the reality you ran from. That's Peacemaker. And then the screen faded. But John Cena didn't. He stormed the stage. In full costume. Not cosplay. Full-blown Peacemaker. From the muscle-padded shirt to the chrome bucket on his head. He owned it. Like he was born to wear it. Like the character had bled into the man. He didn't walk, he charged in. And the crowd, they roared. And then he led them. The way only Cena can. Not with a speech. With a moment. He pointed at James Gunn. Saluted. And dropped to one knee in mock worship. But behind the laugh, there was something real. Respect. Because Gunn has rebuilt the DC universe from the bones of doubt. And Peacemaker is his manifesto. His rebel yell. This wasn't a panel. It was a declaration. Season 2 isn't about repeating the formula. It's about flipping the table. Tearing open the fourth wall. Daring us to laugh while the world burns. Peacemaker isn't just stuck in another dimension. He's stuck between who he was and who he's trying to be. And the stakes. Bigger than ever. Because Superman changed everything. Just 2 weeks ago, Gunn's Superman exploded into theaters. Over $200 million in North America. A global triumph. And now, the ripple effect lands here. Rick Flag Sr. connects it all. A grieving father. A soldier without a war. And maybe, just maybe, the villain of this next chapter. Because in Gunn's universe, the villains hurt. They cry. They remember. And so does Peacemaker. He remembers Rick Flag Jr. He remembers what he did. What he said. And now he faces the ghost of that man, in his father. Not metaphor. Not dream. Real. Bloody. Personal. This isn't just Season 2. It's Reckoning. HBO's date. August 21st. Circle it. Burn it in your mind. Because when Peacemaker returns, he's not the same. The dance may still happen. The jokes may still land. But underneath it all, there's grief. There's guilt. There's the question every anti-hero fears. Do I deserve peace? And what happens when the answer is, no? James Gunn has always made misfits matter. In Guardians. In the Suicide Squad. But Peacemaker. That's his unfiltered howl. His twisted, broken, beautiful soul on screen. Every frame of the trailer pulses with his DNA. The comedy hits. The action crushes. But it's the emotion, the sincerity wrapped in absurdity, that stuns. You don't expect to cry in a show where a man fights with an eagle. But you will. Because Peacemaker dares to ask, what if the man who killed for peace finally asked for forgiveness? And what if he didn't get it? This isn't a hero's journey. It's a redemption that might never come. Cena knows it. Gunn writes it. The fans feel it. And on July 26, 2025, the world saw it. DC Studios has reclaimed Hall H. Not with a multiverse, but with one man, one mission, one massive heart beating under armor and arrogance. And make no mistake, Cena isn't phoning it in. He lives this role. He is this role. When he saluted the crowd, it wasn't performance. It was gratitude. Because Peacemaker isn't just another series. It's a movement. A cult hit turned canon. A wild card turned cornerstone. And Season 2, it's about to rewrite the rules. So get ready. For blood. For betrayal. For brotherhood. For truth. For peace, no matter how many dimensions must burn to get it.